How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We just got the CPI data numbers. I want to talk to you about it and what this means for the market because it actually came in pretty good. The numbers were surprisingly positive, but the headline numbers weren't. So I want to explain why that is. Also want to talk about a couple of the big pieces of news in the market and take a look at where Bitcoin is right now and where we might be going in the future. Also want to talk about an update to Ethereum. Now, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I appreciate that. It helps out the channel a lot. While you're down there, check out the link to BlockFi. It's one of the apps that I have a significant amount of money on, as you can see here. And you can store Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoin, and a variety of other assets. They give you up to a $250 bonus. And I know a lot of my viewers are outside the US, and they actually will give you interest if you're outside the US on your account every single month. So definitely check that out underneath the video. Now, Bitcoin has had a lot of liquidations. We've seen that over the last 24 hours, we had about 430 million longs liquidated. So significant amount of longs, and you can see that's the largest amount that we've had since back in January. So a significant amount. That's why the price fell down, $2,000, $3,000. But we are above 40,000 now. You can see about 40,500. And actually, it's looking a little bit positive. We've seen the NASDAQ bounce up. We've seen Bitcoin bounce up after the consumer inflation report, the CPI data. We were hoping for this inflation inflection point this month. You can see March should be the highest month, around 8.5%. Then hopefully it starts dropping off because we have easier comps about a year ago. So what actually came in is pretty interesting. We were expecting 1.2%, and that's what we got, 1.2% in March. This brings up our CPI to 8.5%, which is the largest that we've had in 40-something years. Now, what rose so quickly, I think, is what you have to look at. So the gasoline index rose 18.3% in March and accounted for over half of all the items' monthly increase. The food index rose by 1% and the food at home index by 1.5%. However, look at this. The index for all items less food and energy rose 0.3% in March following a 0.5% increase the prior month. When you think about what these items are that went up so significantly, they're tied to Ukraine. They're tied to Russia. You can see that obviously gasoline went up. That's a huge part of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We also know that they're large exporters of food, specifically wheat. So the fact is that all items after you take out food and energy actually decreased, which shows what we were kind of expecting or what we were hoping for. So if this continues, that would be very positive. Of course, Russia and Ukraine, we don't know when that will end, but all the other items are falling down in price. And I just got a Tesla, so perfect, right? I'm just kidding. Everyone has to deal with the gasoline prices skyrocketing. Finally, I will be getting out of that trap of paying $4 or $5 per gallon here in the next couple months. But you can see that that is a significant amount, and it's pushing up the entire inflation, the total inflation numbers. So hopefully next month we actually have that inflection down, and that would be a huge positive, and a lot of investors would like to see that. Now, we still have big things happening the rest of the week. We talked about this yesterday, but we have a lot of big banks, BlackRock, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Citi, PNC, Bancorp. We have a lot of those big banks starting to announce earnings over the next few days, which will tell us where our economy is truly at. And if they start that off on a positive note, they start off earnings seasons positively, that could be great for the stock market and then great for the crypto market. So we're at an interesting point right now. Yesterday, we broke through pretty quickly. We broke through the 50-day moving average, unfortunately. We had broken through 42.5 before that. And now we bounced off of our 600-day moving average. So that's right around $39,251. Now, we really want to reclaim that 50-day moving average, and then break through this resistance and actually support at times too, around 45,700 or so. And then hopefully we can break through this last 200-day moving average around 48,200. That'd be quite bullish. Even if we start reclaiming slowly, I think people would be quite happy with that. Now, we have been setting higher lows. If you look back, we've actually been looking pretty good in that sense, because we were last time right around 30,000 last summer, and then just a few months ago we were on 33,500 or so. Now we're at 39,200 or so, 39,300. So hopefully that continues and we continue to break through some of these moving averages. Now, I will say it is amazing the amount of adoption we're seeing. Lack of proper financial services boosts crypto ownership in Nigeria. We've seen all the adoption from the large companies, but a lot of the time we don't hear about it from the countries that are really facing high inflation. So 35% of the Nigerian population between 18 and 60, or 33 million people, have owned or traded cryptocurrencies during the last 6 months. Out of those people, nearly 17.36 million have allocated over half of their assets to cryptocurrencies. I mean, imagine that. Imagine you start talking to people around you and a significant portion of them have put over half their assets in crypto. That just doesn't happen except if you're in the crypto community. You talk to normal people on the streets, they have a couple $100s worth of crypto if they invest in crypto at all. One of the main reasons why investors across the globe seek to diversify traditional assets into crypto is to counter the rising fiat inflation. This is a crazy amount of inflation that they are facing, 209% in the past 6 years, which is why they're looking at deflationary assets such as Bitcoin. We know that there's going to be another halving soon too, so it's going to be even less inflationary. So this is amazing. If you guys want something to make just everything a little bit easier in crypto, especially if you use crypto and you're someone that is putting a significant amount of your assets in crypto, check out Unstoppable Domains. There's a link to this underneath the video too. They're a partner of the channel, but you can get your readable wallet address there that starts at $5, and it's a lot easier to receive crypto. It can be like sam.wallet, and it's so much easier than having a long string of numbers and letters. So check that out. But you can see that there is global adoption, and as time goes on, people will look for ways to make things a little bit easier, and that's why I bring up Unstoppable. Now, overall, I think the crypto market is in a fine place. I mean, we're setting higher lows. If we continue to break through those supports, it will obviously be quite negative, but I think the backdrop is quite positive. We have a lot of institutions adopting. We have a lot of companies innovating. We have a lot of individuals adopting because they have no other way to get out of their fiat crap holes where they just get all their money taken away from them day after day. I mean, we saw at the Bitcoin conference, they were talking about the amount of wealth that's taken every year by inflation, and it's $14 trillion. So large institutions will have to figure out where to put their money as well. And the thing is, a lot of them are just waiting on the SEC, waiting on the US government to figure out how to regulate, and then they are comfortable putting money in. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. I would like that. I like regulation in crypto so large money can come in. Some people are comfortable with it, but obviously some companies are not. So as time goes on, there'll be more clarity, and therefore there will be more people making deposits. That's where Cathie Wood's getting $1.3 million per Bitcoin. They're not getting that because, the retail investor down the street decided to go buy a tenth of a Bitcoin. No, they're talking about large institutions, sovereign wealth funds, countries buying Bitcoin. So we have that to look forward to. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I appreciate that. I actually want to give you an update on Ethereum and a large investment that I've made here in the coming videos. I don't want to talk about it right now. I think that it's a standalone video. So I'll talk to you about that here soon. Hit subscribe if you haven't done that already so you can get an update on that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.